We're entering the final stretch of the year. We're in October, just a couple of months left until 2020 has finally come to an end, and good riddance. It's time to take a look at all the upcoming Switch imports that we feel will probably be worth your time, if we actually make it that far. Unless stated, all of these Asian Japanese exclusives have English, and as a disclaimer, all info stated at the time of recording is thought to be correct, but things can change. Any of the games mentioned here may get a Western physical release in the future. In fact, I'm convinced maybe one or two will, so bear that in mind. Let's get on with it. Aleste Collection is a nice little collection of old school shooters, very obscure too, a couple of Sega Mark III games plus some Game Gear versions of this classic shooter series, plus a brand new game in the series made specifically with Game Gear hardware in mind. Sadly no Super Aleste or Musha, but I guess those would be for a second collection as they are the big daddies. This is still going to be a fun time for shooter fans. A Western release is unknown, I'd say perhaps unlikely, but stranger things have happened. English is probably a no-go for these two, but like M2's other shmup releases, it's probably not necessary to enjoy the goodness. Overpriced? Certainly. Do I want it? You bet. There's even a stupidly priced collector's edition that includes a mini Game Gear with Aleste installed on it. This is due for December 24th. Takano Tatsujin RPG Adventure is one that I'm so looking forward to. So basically, this is the excellent taiko drum rhythm gameplay mixed in with an RPG. Wait, what? Yes, this is a collection of two games that originally released on the 3DS, combined into one package for the Switch. This is releasing digitally in the West, so there's definitely an English translation hanging around somewhere. And the Southeast Asian version has pretty much been confirmed to have English. The Japanese version is unsure at the moment. I'm 100% getting this bad boy, as the Takano Tatsujin games are some of the most fun, happiest games around. You just can't beat them, except when you're beating the drum. November 26th is the due date. Now, just a heads up that if any of the games mentioned in this video today take your fancy and you want to order to import them yourself, then down below in the description and pinned comment there are links below. If you use those links, then it also helps support the SwitchWatch team out massively as we get a small cut from every purchase. It really does help us out immensely, you have no idea. And in return, you can get a nice discount when checking out if you use the coupon code SwitchWatchTV. That's all one word. While checking out SwitchWatch TV, you get 5% off every physical item. Nice. Witch Spring 3 Refine? I've got to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about this one. I know it's an enhanced version of a mobile game, it has English, and pretty sweet cover art. It's supposedly an RPG top-down action. A little on the simple side, but with decent art and potentially decent story, I've definitely got my eyes on this one. I've already got it pre-ordered. It seems right up my alley. Now, there is no trailer for the updated version yet, just some screenshots, so sorry about that. This is due December 3rd. Touhou Spell Bubble is a fascinating mix of the classic puzzle bubble gameplay mixed in with Touhou music in some rhythm action. This is an Asian release that contains English, and there's both a standard edition as well as a collector's edition. This is very, shall we say, an Asian style game, and I would be very surprised if this released physically in the West. Personally, I have already ordered this one, the collector's edition, which contains a special box, magnet, lenticular card, art book, and, best of all, a blanket. What collector's edition is complete without a blanket? I have no idea. October 15th is the day they'll be sending your blanket. Abyss of the Sacrifice is a really cool looking visual novel set deep underground after the world is in tatters. 5 girls must attempt to escape while learning of friendship and the horrors that await them. Puzzle solving is promised in this atmospheric tale. Looks interesting. I asked the publisher in regards to a Western physical but got no word as of yet. Could be a good one to import December 17th. Remothered has the first game physically on the Switch already, and the second game is arriving very soon. Japan, however, is doing the good stuff and releasing a double pack of both games together. Nice. Yes, if you didn't buy the first game physically yet, this may actually be a more affordable option, as both games do have English on this Japanese package. These are both psychological horror games. I've not played them, but this double pack will definitely make me consider picking them up now. This is coming out a little later than the second game in the West, which is like mid-October. If you can wait for this double pack, it's December 3rd. SeaBed is a much delayed physical release from PlayAsia. Available as both a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, this was held back from its planned release to polish the game up a little bit, including touching up the text and stuff like that. I've got this collector's edition pre-ordered, which includes a manual, soundtrack, postcard, set and certificate. This visual novel is due out sometime in October. Fight of Gods. Yes, firstly, allow me to break your hearts by telling you that this does not have English. I know, I'm sorry. But on the bright side, you know what? It's a fighting game. How hard can it be to work your way through the menus? Plus, you know that you need Jesus beating the crap out of Santa. It has to happen. Quality? This is not. Essential? It is. There's even a crazy collector's edition to go alongside it. I reached out to the publisher to ask why there was no English, and it was due to contractual obligations, which sucks, but I don't know, I'm definitely considering it, just for the memes. This is due for December 24th, just in time for Santa to go at it with Jesus for his birthday bash. Distraint Collection is another Play Asia exclusive from East Asia Soft. Like with the others, I've got to have this one as I'm going for a full set. This one has been delayed a lot due to waiting for the second game in the collection to finally be finished on the Switch. Anyway, this is 2 games in 1, which Play Asia like to do sometimes. These are surreal 2D horror games that are definitely unique in many ways. They may not be the most appealing, but I like something a bit weird and different. The collector's edition includes a soundtrack CD, manual, and certificate. This was due for September, but it has had another delay. Dead by Daylight has a physical Switch release in the West already, but how about Dead by Daylight Silent Hill Edition? Yes, this is an enhanced physical release, which includes the very exciting Silent Hill DLC, which is probably the closest thing to a Silent Hill game we're gonna get on the Switch. And it's better than a pachinko machine, right? Probably not an essential import, but a decent variant to have if you're a full collector. The stalking begins on November 19th. Pawamuri is another Play Asia exclusive from East Asia Soft. This is a pretty sweet shooter that takes place in a Neo-Aztec inspired world, packing a real challenge running at a very nice 60 frames per second. This includes all the patches and updates that the digital version received over time. Very nice game indeed, and as a shmup fan, I cannot wait. There's a standard release as well as a collector's edition which includes a manual, soundtrack CD, and certificate. This is due for November. Hardcore Mecca is a sweet-looking action game that includes mechs, which I know you all love. It's side-scrolling action with a large focus on the story, it seems, and I, for one, cannot bloody wait. It looks awesome. The pizzazz of Super Robot Wars, but where you're actually kicking ass with the mech yourself. There's a demo up on the eShop right now for you to try yourself. Now, this is probably getting a low print release in the West, but the English on the Japanese and Asian versions is enough for me, and I think a few people will want to pick up the Asian version October 15th for this one. Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes is a badass looking action game set in the well-loved and long-lived series. I'm not hugely into the Tokusatsu series, but this looks to be the second game released in Japan and Asia that does have English on the Switch. And I think it looks pretty sweet. Just one look at the trailer sold me on this one. I think it could be a biggie. There's a standard release as well as a premium sound edition which includes 60 additional songs, which fans will definitely need to consider. That also has English. October 29th is the day to look out for. Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate involves a classic roguelike gameplay with throwback style, the genre that I love. I love Mystery Dungeon games, and this is one of the prime examples. This is an enhanced port of the Vita game, where you move floor by floor with hardcore, old-school gameplay. The Japanese physical release does have English, which I'm thrilled about, and it comes in a very nice slipcase with 60-page booklet to go with it. I guess a Western physical release could come along, but I'm kind of half and half on this one, 50-50, maybe limited run or whatever, but I'm definitely getting this Japanese release. This is due for December 3rd. Neversong Pinstripe is a double pack of games from, well, basically one dude. Both are very atmospheric puzzle platformers with a heavy narrative focus. I can vouch for Pinstripe as being a nice game that I reviewed for the channel. Although it's only a few hours long, so the added bonus of an extra game really puts the value up. Plus, this is a collector's edition which includes rather nice stuff. 22nd of October is the date. Shantae and the Seven Sirens is the genie's latest adventure, finally arriving in Japan and Asia. Since this was only available in the West thanks to limited run in North America, I thought it would be best to cover it, as perhaps the Eastern release is far more accessible to some, like myself. It's a great game, and these releases do have English, so there's nothing to lose. Plus, Shantae fans are probably really hardcore. I wouldn't be surprised to see many of her fans buying this version too, even if they own the limited run one. 29th of October for Shantae fans. Monkey Barrels? Monkey what? Yes, the people who made Yoshi's Woolly and Crafted World created a little indie game called Monkey Barrels, which looks rather fun as a shooter. It's big, bold, colourful. It looks like that recent Contra game, but actually good. It's probably not going to be high on the imports list for many people. There's not a single anime girl in sight, but for me, this looks the business. And Monkey Business begins on December 10th. Panty Party already got a release in Asia with its Play Asia exclusive, but behold, one release wasn't enough. Panty Party is back with its Japanese release titled Perfect Body Edition, with extra content including more panties. More panties! No physicals one though, which was the weird bonus that the Asian version got. There is a standard release of this weird arena shooter, but there's also a collector's edition which includes a mascot figurine, art book, and voice CD, whatever that is. This is due November 19th. Geo Rifters is an import exclusive that may or may not be released by the time this video goes out. Who knows when I'll get the chance to edit it together. But tangents aside, this is a physical release exclusive to Asia. It's a puzzle platforming game where you shift blocks around to collect things and defeat enemies. I reviewed it for the channel if you want to check that video out. But if you don't have time, it's actually quite fun and clever as long as you get past the below par presentation. This is due for around now. Death Squared may also be out by the time this video goes out. Well, it definitely is for the limited edition, which is available via oneprintgames.com, which nets you an acrylic keychain, manual card, and sticker. The standard edition should be available around about now, whenever this episode goes out, and with that, you just get the game. This is a very fun puzzle co-op game that is most certainly worth your time, although it's often on sale for ridiculously cheap digitally, so it is a tough choice. This is due for October 9th, my birthday. Moon is the one we are all praying for. I'm not a religious man, but I sure appreciate some of you out there sending some kind words up above to make sure this damn physical has English. This is an utterly fantastic game. It's wholesome, warm, fuzzy, and way ahead of its time. I reviewed it and gave it a glowing review, even though it's an old PS1 game. This premium edition, releasing in Japan by all logic and all known standards of Nintendo's ecosystem, should have English. It should. It's just not been confirmed yet, but it really should, and we're hoping. Of course, I'm sure with the quality and cult classic nature, this may get a limited run release at some point down the line, but I want the Japanese version. This is due for October 15th. Citizens Unite is a very recent announcement from Kemco, so much so that there's not exactly a bevy of information surrounding it. What we do know is that this is a double pack of the Citizen games, Earth and Space, two indie RPGs, one of which is kind of like Earthbound, another like Paper Mario, irreverent RPGs, not essential, but actually pretty good. This double pack is releasing in Japan early next year. Well, it says winter 2021, so I hope that means the early winter rather than the late one. I don't know. There's no news on a Western release, nor if the Japanese one has English or not. You know, this is speculation, but one would be hopeful. And there we have it, guys. Many thanks to our executive producers Brent McLean, Dane Wilkinson, Gannicus, God of Resin, and Jonathan Rumor. Remember, if any of the games have taken your fancy, then consider using the links below to help support the channel. It really helps us out so much. Check out our weekly video series talking about all the physical releases on Mondays. Don't miss that. You'll get all the up-to-date info you need on these games. We'll see you over there. Take care.